We all face objections and we all face rejection, right? But how do you handle it? Did you know that objections and rejection are just the rungs of the ladder to success? It can take 5, 6, 7 no's or more just to get to a yes. Are you prepared? Many challenges are common, and you may feel prepared and confident because of your knowledge and experience. But we all know there will be harder challenges, including competition for your services, the value you bring to the table, your marketing efforts, keeping a transaction moving forward, or perhaps just getting the initial appointment. Sadly, many of us end up feeling defeated and throw in the towel because we were not prepared with the skills to keep a conversation moving forward. It's important to understand the following techniques and how to employ them when necessary. It will make the difference between securing and preserving the business you've worked so hard to find. It's important to know these techniques are not intended to try to force people to make decisions in your favor. That's never going to happen, nor should you ever even try. However, most objections are a sign that people lack sufficient information. And sales is all about helping people, and they want to feel comfortable and confident they are doing the right thing. Moving to the next rung on the ladder requires confidence, knowledge, a plan, and a commitment to helping people make good decisions. And sometimes a no is a no, but oftentimes a no means not now, and that's okay. So here are 10 proven techniques I want you to be prepared to employ on your next appointment. And they all begin with the letter P to make it easier for you to remember. So number 1, proud, as in be proud and know your worth. In order to begin any negotiation or handle any objection, you need to be confident of your worth and know when to walk away. This is a key boundary, and it begins with respect for self. Number 2 are proof points. It's important and helpful to have documented evidence, facts, statistics, and results to back up your claims and be prepared to leverage what the market and the professionals in the industry are saying. For example, as you can see from this report, investing in a marketing plan that includes staging and professional photography is key to maximizing the value of your home. Number 3 is preclude. Precluding objections is the easiest way to minimize questions or concerns. If you know what people might be concerned about, then begin your conversation by setting the table and address the common objections right up front. When you set the table this way, there is an understanding that you are well prepared, and it creates intrigue for what more you have to offer. Number 4, pique curiosity. I'm sure you've heard the saying, curiosity killed the cat. So when you have something really good to share, put a taste of it on the table to let them know you're excited to share something eye-opening. For example, ask the seller where they think curb appeal begins today. That piques curiosity. Then share with them that it begins online, and that if people don't like your home online, of course, they're never going to show up in your driveway. Then show them how your marketing plan addresses this important component. Number 5, put it in the parking lot. When a client asks you a question that you're not ready to address yet, affirm how important it is to them and when you plan to address it. This works really well in conjunction with piquing curiosity. For example, when a client asks you about your fee, just say, "How much do you know how our fee works?" They most likely don't fully understand, and then indicate to them that there is more to learn than you may realize, and I look forward to sharing that with you once we are finished determining the value of your home and our plans to market it. Fair? Number 6, partition. Now this is my favorite. We all know from our Psychology 101 class that the left brain processes logic and the right brain processes stories and pictures. It's critically important that you speak to both sides of the brain. You see, it's easy to end a discussion based purely on logic, just as easily as it is to find stories unbelievable. So imagine buying a TV from someone that just threw specs at you. Or imagine buying a used car from someone that told you a story about how it was only driven to church on Sundays by a little old lady. The information may be true, but by itself it's hard to relate to it or believe. However, if you offer a little bit of information and then make it relatable, it's easier to fully understand and appreciate. For example, if the client just told you that communication was important to them and you respond by saying, "You are a great communicator," that may not be sufficient, as the last agent that disappointed them may have said the same thing. For example, if a client just told you that communication was important to them and you respond by saying, "You are a great communicator," That may not be sufficient, as the last agent that disappointed them may have said the same thing. But if you combine it with something relatable like, I notice you have a really nice dog and I'm sure you take him for walks, yes? I bet there's a nosy neighbor up the street, right? Well, when they stop and ask you how the sale of your home is going, you won't have to make something up to satisfy their insatiable desire to know everything going on. That's how important communication is to me. It's a reflection of my service to you. Number 7 is the pregnant pause. The pregnant pause is basically a moment of silence after you have made a counter response to their request. It is the hardest technique of them all. Why? Because we all like to talk, but the loser is the one who speaks first. You must remain silent. For example, the client asks you to cut your fee to make a deal work. You respond by saying that you are unable to help them in this way. Then you remain silent. This silence could take 10 seconds to a few minutes perhaps. It will feel like an eternity. But the key to this technique working is to be confident and remain silent until your client speaks. They need to ponder the ramifications of not being able to move into their new home. And the strength of your silent conviction is key to their acceptance. Number 8, propose. This is simple, but it's always important to have choices and alternatives to consider. The key to success is to be creative and work with people to help them achieve their goals. Number 9, psychology. It's important to recognize where your client is within the 5 stages of grief and help them move through the stages efficiently. The first stage is denial, as in, I can't believe the appraisal came in $10,000 low. Our house is worth every penny. The second stage is frustration, and this normally shows up as them telling you what you should do next. And hidden behind this next stage is anger. Now, most people won't demonstrate anger openly, but it's important to preclude it by acknowledging that you can see that they are frustrated and that you wouldn't be surprised if they weren't a little bit angry. The next stage is disappointment, followed by acceptance. At this stage, it would be helpful to propose a possible solution, such as seeing if the buyer might split the difference. Oftentimes, given a little time, perhaps overnight, to think about the ramifications of not being able to move into their new home will help your client overcome their disappointment and move forward. Number 10, poke the pain. Now, your role is to address the pain, and sometimes in order to address the pain, you have to remind your client of how much it hurts so you can help fix it. The pain might be the house is too small, and they may be hesitant to move forward out of fear of finding a new home in a low inventory market. To poke the pain would be to remind them of their reason for moving and to keep them focused on your plan to confidently get them to where they would like to be and assure them that the effort to find a new home will be worth it. And then as a bonus, number 11 is the silent no. This technique is best used at the end of any negotiation. An example might be agreeing on the price to market one's home, and your seller wants $325 for their home, but you've shown them that it's only worth $300 max. They suggest meeting in the middle and counter back with $310, hoping to leave a little wiggle room for negotiation. Knowing that you have already explained how that strategy may leave them without any offers, you respond by just dropping your eyes and shaking your head like this. Try it on your friends for fun. It works. And I hope you find these techniques for handling objections helpful. All of these techniques, being proud of your worth and precluding objections, will go a long way towards success. Add the other elements to your skill set, and you'll get better and better at thinking on your feet when faced with more and more difficult situations. Think about it. Your clients will value the way you handle yourself under pressure, knowing full well that they have selected the best person to represent their interests when it matters most. Create the experience your clients will love to talk about.